All right, everybody. This is Gangsta Talk. You know, a while back I made a podcast and I dared to say these words: the black woman can do no wrong. Of course, people took it and ran with it and said, Max said the black woman can do no wrong. No, she can't. But they forgot the other part of it. See, because in the first installment, I said the black woman can do no wrong because the black man can do no right. Now I'm back again with a part two, and I dare to say it again: the black woman can do no wrong because the black man can do no right. And we're going to break it down, and I'm going to tell you why. Gangster talk up right now. You know, I'm in a New York state of mind, right, Dane? Hit it. all right. What's going on, everybody? It is Gangsta Talk, this early morning edition. How's everybody doing? Thought I'd chime in while I'm on the road, kick a little knowledge with you. I had a podcast a while back that caused quite a stir. As a matter of fact, it started this all out name calling, calling me simp and all kinds of things. I mean, I've been called names still to the day I've never heard before. But it really triggered a lot of guys in the manosphere, SYSBM, and so forth, whatever. Pretty much I dare to say that the black woman can do no wrong. Even some sisters had a problem with me saying what I said. Well, I'm here to say it again. The black woman can do no wrong. And let me add the ending to it, like I did. Maybe they'll pay attention to the ending part of it again. This time I'm saying the black woman can do no wrong because the black man can do no right. Now let's kick it off. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Let's start with one of their most famous talking points. The thing that they blame black women for the most. The choices that they make. All right? The choices that black women make in the community is directly tied to the leadership in that community. It's directly tied to the male leadership in that community. The problem is that these guys don't understand that the failure in leadership breeds corruption. Therefore, it eliminates good choices. So once the environment becomes corrupted due to poor male leadership, then there are no longer any good choices. You leave the black woman in a position to where she has to choose the best from the worst. That's not a good choice. That's a choice of chance. Maybe, maybe not. That's what that is. It's a choice of chance. It's not a definitive choice of good. It's not a definitive choice to where she can say, hey, this is a good man. It's say, I don't know. He may pan out. He may not. He may steal all my money. He may not. He may be a good father. He may not. It's a choice of chance. And this is what happens when you have how the environment gets corrupted. It gets corrupted when the man abandons his family. Because you see, the family with him teaching, him he takes him present. All of these things leave with him. All of them. They are no longer home. There's no one to guide the young boy. No one to teach him. The young boy to. There's no male presence the boy can aspire to. There's no male presence to reiterate and reiterate and fortify the teachings of the father. See, when I was growing up in the community, to see this as young boys. So we saw what a good man looks like. We saw what a strong man looked like. We saw what a responsible man looked like because of the presence of the fathers in the neighborhoods. So the influence was easy because they showed themselves to us. They revealed themselves to us. We were actually able to see the teachings. This is very important because a young boy is trying to find himself. He's trying to see what is it that he needs to copy. He's trying to see what he needs from his father to be who he is. And so if he can see that because the father is present, then it makes it easier for the boy to develop as a young man. With all of that is gone, it makes it nearly impossible for him to find himself, understand himself, and develop correctly as a young man. He cannot get these things from the mother. Now he can get a pseudo or a generic copy of some of these things from his mother, but he cannot get the authentic things that he needs. That can only come from the father. The mother can only do but so much. She can do very little. Now, also, when you abandon the family, it is a domino effect of things that start to happen. And depending on what type of mother in the home, the mother can overcompensate with love towards the boy because she may feel some kind of way. You may have left her emotionally devastated, and she may overprotect emotionally, meaning that she may grab her son to her bosom tighter, hold her son in her bosom longer. There's a possibility that she can actually dish out too much love to the boy that will have an adverse effect on his sexuality. She doesn't mean to do this. She's just being a mother. Mothers of loving. That's what mothers do. They love their children. She's not being malicious. She's not trying to affect her boy's sexuality with her outpouring of love. She doesn't even realize that she may be pouring too much love onto the boy. She's just being a mother. We don't penalize women for being women. We penalize men for not being men. We penalize men for not being fathers. Because that is the most destructive when the boys have no father, no male influence. They become like animals. They become extremely dangerous. To the community, then boys raising themselves in the street and finding pseudo fathers who want to exploit them. So it's important that the father, see, the father is the one that can put the kibosh on all of this. Fathers were so strong and so powerful. We were afraid of our fathers. We didn't go outside and act a fool. We get our asses whooped. You kidding me? If Pop said be in the house at 9 o'clock, we was in the house at 8:30. We didn't want no smoke. All that's gone. That strong male influence is no longer there. The leadership is gone. This is why I say the men in this society are weak. There's no male leadership in the communities to speak of. You may have individual brothers who are leading their homes, yes. But as a collective, there's hardly no leadership to speak of. We've grown weak as Black men. That is why you have anti-Black factions like the Manosphere, the SYSBM, the Red Pill guys, these satanic, like alpha male strategies, and guys like Alan Roger
All right, everyone. Having a little networking problem. So Max will be back. All right. So he was trying to say that the boy needs to see the father, and he observes the father. His father are the men in his life to see what it is to be men. And without that, he's gonna constantly be looking for it. Or he said the mother can only give a generic uh, version of being a man. He needs the father. He needs men to see what it is to be a man. And and if the man leaves the family, then the mother would over try to overcompensate and give too much love and end up smothering him or altering his um his sexuality.
Okay, am I back now?
Oh yes, way better.
Okay, now where did I leave? What was the last thing you heard?
Um, Last thing I heard clearly was the mother overcompensated.
Okay, let me finish. Okay, let me continue.
Okay.
All right, and so what I was saying about the mother being, I said once the father abandons the home, there's a domino effect of things that start to take place. One, depending on what type of mother's in the house, she can overcompensate. She can feel devastated by the loss of the father or the loss of the husband. She can feel devastated emotionally, and this may cause her to overcompensate with love towards the boy. She may feel a strong need to protect the feelings in the heart of her young boy and end up holding him close to her bosom too long and overshowering him with love because she's being a protective mother, not realizing that this could damage his sexuality. This can cross wires as far as his sexuality because he's receiving too much love. There is a such thing as too much love, especially when it comes down to boys. Okay? And so this is devastating to our communities because when boys that have no guidance, they become extremely dangerous. and reckless and destructive, especially if they're left to raise themselves in the street and find pseudo fathers that will do nothing but exploit them and not give them the guidance that they need to self correct. Evil factions, evil anti black family factions such as the Manosphere, the SYSBM, and the Red Pills and the conscious community, they teach young boys to not be responsible by blaming the mother. They teach men not to be men by blaming the black woman. They teach fathers not to be fathers by blaming the black woman. So basically, they make it okay for a black male to be irresponsible and unaccountable. They say it's okay if you are a deadbeat dad, it's the woman's fault. They say it's okay if you leave your children behind and do not take care of them because it's the woman's fault. And a lot of black men have brought into these faulty teachings. And now you have groups of black men who are rising in the wrong direction. They're turning into a large anti-hate group against their own women, and they don't really for that is a recipe for racial suicide. And the thing about it is, I've heard many of you talk about Kevin Samuels and the teachings of the Manosphere. And you talk as if you have epiphanies or if these guys have uncovered some great worldly knowledge. They haven't. All they've done is made a fool out of you, and you sound ridiculous regurgitating their talking points. And you look and you look confused and you look weak. And many of you who talk this stuff sound very effeminate and weak. You don't sound manly whatsoever. No other man will fear you at all. And let me explain something to you. I don't care how sophisticated you get, how many times you want to shake your ass and gyrate your hips and act like a woman, it comes down to this. Guns and butter. You either have one or the other or both. Because at the end of the day, this world is viciously, barbarically simplistic. And while you up there on your high horse being sophisticated and well educated, what's going to determine the end of the day is barbarism. Who is the most vicious? Who is the most willing to spill blood? Who is the most willing to take life? That is what it's going to come down to. It's not going to come down to your sophistication. It's not going to come down to your academics. It's not going to come down to how many $25 words that you can have in your lexicon. It's going to come down to good old-fashioned, simplistic, brute force. Now, I know y'all don't want to hear that at all because, you got your man panties on tight. Oh my God, I studied all this time in college and built this sophisticated rhetoric. And you're telling me that I can't talk my way out of this? No, you cannot. I've said this before. This is not an enemy you can talk your way out of a confrontation with. You are going to have to face him to be free. If you do not face him, fight him and defeat him, you will never be free. And you will die in agony in captivity. And you will know no shame because he will strip you of your manhood completely, and you will know no shame. You will just become a mindless, vicious, and brutal slave who will brutalize his own children and women because you have lost your way, you have lost your identity, you have lost your heart, your spirit, your mind, and your manhood. You will become nothing more than a dog that fights in the pit to survive. You will become entertainment. And it will be entertaining to your enemies to watch you brutalize and cannibalize your own kind. That's what you will become. The road for the conquered is paved in gold. The road for the conquered, I'm sorry, the road for the conqueror is paved in gold. The road of the conquered is paved in death, blood, brutality, barbarism, broken glass, sharp edged rocks. That is what awaits you in your cowardice. And the thing about it is, you don't realize you are the strongest man, but you think and behave like the weakest man. Your strength is directly tied to your mentality. Fix your mentality and you will regain your courage and strength. You keep listening to weak, pathetic, demonic demons like Kevin Samuels, Alpha Male Strategies, the Manosphere, you will never regain your strength. And you will just become a murderer of your own kind. This is the devastation that awaits you because you failed to be a leader, you failed to raise warriors. You are afraid. And let me go back to what I was saying about the black woman could do no wrong. You see, you cannot blame someone from following you and you lead them down the wrong direction. You lead them down the wrong path. They're following you. In essence, they're doing what you want them to do. The woman is following you in your leadership. It is your leadership that has led her astray. It is your leadership that has caused her adverse behavior. It is your leadership that has caused her rebellion. It is your leadership that has caused her disrespect and her distrust in you. Your leadership is corrupted. Your leadership is weak. There's no authority in your leadership. Your leadership is no guidance to your young boys. To your young boys. You fail. Strike the healthy fear into the minds that they may respect authority. You fail to do things. So now your boys have grown into monsters and you are afraid of them. So the easiest thing that you can do is to blame the woman so that your boys won't turn and attack you. You see that these monsters that you've allowed to cultivate in your environment of corruption, you are afraid of them. So you teach them to hate the woman so they can kill her, so they can brutalize her, because you are afraid to deal with them. And you don't want them turning on you and smoking you, so you teach them to hate her. So now all of that pent up anger that's really meant for you, you've effectively turned against the black woman. And now the boys that you didn't raise, that you've allowed to raise themselves in the street like animals, who have turned into monsters, are out here killing women and children. And you're too cowardly to do anything about it. As a matter of fact, you're encouraging them to do it because you don't want them to turn that righteous anger on you where it belongs. You should be the one out here getting smoked because this is your failure. They are what they are as a result of your negligence as a father and your failure as a leader in the community. This is why the black woman can do no wrong, because you can't do any right. You are unrighteous. You are unrighteous. You have allowed your community to become completely corrupted and fall in ruins. And now you want to complain about the negative behavior that is born in it, raised in it, cultivated in it. And it's your fault. You are at blame here. The black woman is doing everything she can. You aren't doing anything but blaming her. So no, she can do no wrong. You have to do right first. Before we even look at the black woman for anything, you have to correct your mistakes. You have to answer to what you've allowed to happen. You have to be held accountable for the things that you've allowed to happen. This is your fault and your fault alone. You are the leader and you have failed your people. And now you sit back and you watch your boys that you've abandoned run around like wild packs of wolves, attacking women and children. And you do nothing about it. And you sit up here on social media and you talk as if you had nothing to do with it. I don't know who you think you're fooling. Apparently you do have a number of black men brainwashed into believing that it's the woman's fault. And to you black men who believe that, you a damn fool. It isn't the woman's fault. It's the black man's fault. See, I don't want to hear it. Don't come here to me with this bullshit. See, I know what's going on. I know what the deal is. I know what the man is supposed to do. And you aren't doing it. And until you do it, the only thing that's going to change is the fact that it's going to go from bad to worse. You talk about the black woman choosing better. There's no better for her to choose in an environment of corrupted men. An environment that you've allowed to become corrupted with your piss poor leadership. You've given her no option. You've taken away her good choices. She has nothing but choices of chance. She may as well be playing Russian roulette. There are no good choices for her to choose from. You've made sure that with your piss poor leadership, and you've become weak. That's why guys like Kevin Samuels and this alpha male strategy bum and the rest of these manosphere anti-black family niggas, that's why they exist, because you are weak as a black man. You've left your society with no leader. You are weak. You don't protect your own. You don't protect home. You don't protect anything. You're weak. That's why things are the way they are. If you were strong, our society would be in order. You wouldn't be sitting up here talking about black female fuckery and black, we wouldn't be saying any of these things because our society would be in order. And don't come up here talking about something, yeah, but the woman needs to obey. No, 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 bro. Don't work that. Don't work like that. You get your ass together first. You give us something to submit to. You give us something to willingly want to be with. I said before that submission is an act of manhood. You got to be a man for a woman to give herself to you. She's not going to give herself to a man that behaves like a woman. And you guys, all of you manosphere guys, you got defeatist attitudes, you giving up. Oh, we can't do nothing over here because of there's nothing wrong with the culture. There's something wrong with you. You're the problem. It has nothing to do with culture. It has everything to do with your unwillingness to do what you're supposed to do as a man. That's the problem. Problem is that you're weak. And on top of that, you're a punk. You're afraid to fight. You're afraid of confrontation. What you think's going to happen? You know, I sit up here and I feel sorry for a lot of you. You actually think you're going to talk your way out of this. You actually think that this enemy that you're dealing with, this vicious enemy that has shown you that he's willing to blow the brains out of the head of your child, how long do you think he's going to allow you to talk? You think you're gonna just keep talking forever? You think you're just gonna be a coon and you're gonna live happily ever after? There is no cooning your way out. They don't care nothing about you being a coon. And you're not talking your way out of this. And any of you guys who believe that the manosphere has the answer and they are the savior and you're going to be fine as long as you conform and you assimilate, they lead you to your death. And you're going to assimilate all right. You're going to assimilate into the graveyard. You think these people want you to assimilate? You think these people want you around like that? They just want enough of you. Just enough of you to keep them entertained and to give them sport. That's it. They can't keep you around because you can always become a threat. So to effectively wipe you out, they need to get rid of your women. And they're using you to do that. Don't you understand? You guys claim that you're smart. You claim that you got these high IQs. You don't realize that the quickest way to destroy a race is to get rid of the women? And they got you destroying yourself. Can't nobody reproduce you. You have to understand something. You are the strongest man on this earth. I know you don't feel like it right now because your mentality is broken. They don't want the strongest man on the earth to reproduce himself. They don't care if you go and be with foreign women because you're not reproducing yourself. That blood that runs through your veins, that power, that natural strength can only be reproduced with a black woman. It cannot be reproduced with Becky. It cannot be reproduced with Maylene. It cannot be reproduced with Maria or any other foreign non-black woman. It can be reproduced with an African woman, but they're going to keep you away from her too. Actually, it can be produced even stronger with an African woman. They damn sure don't want you connecting with her. That's the original woman. They ain't gonna never let you get close to her. Because she can make even a stronger version of you. She's the original. So she can produce even a stronger and more deadly version of you. They damn sure don't want you around her. That's why they're in Africa right now trying to fuck Africa up. The okay, so you're just, and no matter how many times people tell you, you guys just don't get it. You see, what needs to happen to you guys is that you have to get a dose of reality. You gotta get a dose of reality. How is it that we're fighting racism and then we're fighting black dudes who hate black people? So we're fighting racism and fighting you too. And let's just face it. Why are you guys the way you are? Because you're weak. It's all emotional. You're mad at women. You hate the world because you got played. Many of you got played. Somebody called you a name in high school and you never got over it. Somebody said you had a yuck mouth. Or a little girl said, "Oh, you got a yuck mouth." And now you're 50 years old, still mad at that little girl who said you had a yuck mouth 60 years ago. You ought to be, what's wrong with you? You ought to be ashamed to be this weak. And don't you realize the manosphere, that's all emotion. You guys are like that because of emotions. That's all it is. These guys aren't hard men. These guys aren't strong men. These guys are weak men of emotion. They chose the feminine way out. They chose to be a woman's scorn. That's what they are. They're scorned women. Girly men. I guess they say hell has no fury like a woman scorned. Well, shit, I guess they done jumped into that too. Hell has no fury like a girly man scorned. They done jumped into that. These are scorned men, behaving like women. And that's what you're following. Men who can't emotionally let go of shit that happened 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago. Girl said you was too short. Now you're a grown man and you're still too short. And you can't get over it. Woman said you were bald headed. You had a bald spot. You mad as hell. You guys are weak. And that's all this is about, emotions. Male emotion. That's all these factors are about. All those guys are emotionally broken, all of them. And look at them. They're weak. Got some gay dude running around here posing as some dude that can get any woman he wants. Fuck out of here. You don't never see these guys with women. Where are these women that they keep telling you that they can get? If they were about it like that, they would produce the women. Pictures or something. Hell, they're not even faking it. Like, damn, you can at least pay your sister to take a picture with you and act like it's a girl. You guys won't even do that. These dudes are weak. And that's what you're following. That's what got you sitting around here talking about it's the woman's fault, or it's the woman is your enemy. And some of you come from single mother homes where your mother did everything for you. And you're going to sit up here and be an ungrateful bastard and listen to some weak, broken Negroes who can't get over the past. And that's all it's about. The manosphere is just some great movement of men. Hell, y'all get that from? Guys in the back like this is some fucking new, revolutionized man. Some great movement. First of all, I got a problem with the man part. This isn't a revolution of men or a great movement of men. These are broken young boys trapped in a grown man's body. Broken boys, emotionally broken boys. That's why many of them stay in comic books. Because many of them have young mentalities, even though they're 50 years old. So they've been talking about their favorite hero is Spider-Man, Superman, Batman. 50 years old. Their favorite hero is Batman. And this is your idea of a new age revolutionary man? A 50-year-old that tell you, oh, my hero is Batman. Batman? Damn, I would have given him some respect and say, well, you know what, my hero is my father. All right, I can dig it. Batman? Spider-Man? You think I'm bullshitting? I was once over there. I know that. I know a lot of those guys. Motherfucker's 45, 50 years old. And my favorite hero is Batman. No, I like Spider-Man. 45-year-old niggas over there talking about Spider-Man. And that's your new revolutionary black man. That's your great movement. A bunch of broken, misguided boys trapped in male bodies who are mad as hell at the world, angry at their mothers, and lashing out at women. That is your idea of a new revolutionary male. Not anybody that's making you breakthroughs in medicine, not any men that are making breakthroughs in science, not any men that are making breakthroughs in technology or finances, none of that. Not any men that are making great discoveries, helping us fight illnesses, none of that. But men who idolize Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman. White men in costumes. They idolize white men in costumes with fictional superpowers. Men who are enthralled in fantasy. This is who you'll find. This is your idea of a new age revolutionary male. Stick around, the high value male is going to have a cape soon with some tidy whities and leotards. Talking about some da 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 da. There's no need to fear. High value man is here. What's up, my brother? What's going on? Man, my girl, man, she told me I wasn't good enough. She said I couldn't talk to her no more because I needed a job. What I'm gonna do? She locked me out of the house and took away my PlayStation. Fear not, my young misguided, beloved young man. High value man is here. I'm going to put your woman in her place. Really? High value man? You're going to do that for me? Yes. Where's your woman now? There she is right there. Woman, how dare you take this man's PlayStation? Give him back his PlayStation before I throw you in high value jail. You, you villain. Stick around. The high value man gonna have a cape, leotards, and tidy whities with some kind of insignia on his chest. HM or HVM. Probably gonna look like Kevin Samuels. Gonna be wearing horn rimmed glasses and look like the black version of Mr. Rogers. With somebody that looks like Howdy Doody as a sidekick. I mean, you know what, man? Listen, if these guys were serious about something, I'd be like, okay, well, maybe they got a little something over there. But I can't take these guys seriously. Are you kidding me? Surely we can do much better than that. Say that's not the best we can do. Say the Manosphere, SYSBM, that can't be the best we can do, man. Say it ain't so. It just simply cannot be the best that we can do. I absolutely refuse to believe it. Them? Ooh, revolutionary black man?
All right, everybody. We all know Mac is working. So, as he was saying, as he was saying, um, instead of the teaching the boys to be the anger that they have for their father and somehow manage to twist it towards the mother who's there. That is her fault for everything. And so now these angry boys are going around killing women and children, blaming women and children for the state of the community, blaming the mother that's there for the father leaving, blaming the mother for um, for the black man not leading, black men not taking charge of the community, black men not fighting. Black men not fighting for what they want, not even to help themselves. So we got angry boys teaching angry boys how to blame their mother, how to blame a black woman, how to blame all black women. They are waving a flag to their weakness by saying black women won't let them lead. Black women is stopping them from leading. Black uh, black women are ruining the community, and they are allowing it. If you're the leader, you're in charge, and you working in the community, um, you wouldn't let black women ruin the community if that was truly so. And give me the specifics. How is she ruining the community? The only thing they can say is single black mothers. Who is their mother? She's ruining the community. She's somehow ruining the community, but by having you when your father didn't want you.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey,
Yeah, what was the last thing you guys heard? Hello?
hey, okay, the last thing I
All
heard
right,
was,
listen.
mhm,
All right, y'all. Right now, I'm in a bad area. I didn't anticipate, so we're gonna shut the show down. I'll probably as soon as I get to a better area, I'll fire it back up and do a continuation. But I'm in a really bad area right now, so we're gonna shut the show down, and I'll pick it back up a little later. All right, everybody. Peace,
mhm.
power, and unity, and I'll talk to you guys soon.